Hey Gender Blenders, it's Tuesday, really late. I'm so sorry, but the first Tuesday of every month is Josh and I's group session. So we go to group therapy, and I apologize that I post so late on the first Tuesdays of the month, but it is like 1:20 in the morning, so it's actually Wednesday. I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to work, so this is going to be a quick video. But I wanted to touch base on the subject because I think that as the partner of a trans person, you do have to transition in the workplace because you too are going through a transition of sorts. So the first thing I wanted to say is your business is your business, and if there's ever a time when you don't feel comfortable talking to people or telling people about, your partner being transgendered, you're not obligated to do it. But for me, it got to a point where I couldn't use the female pronouns anymore, and I couldn't call Josh by his birth name anymore because it made me feel uncomfortable, because I knew that's not how he identified. So it got to a point where I had to start telling people around me because it was actually impacting my ability to accept and to deal with it and to move forward. Because, at work I was calling him her and she and, his birth name, and then at home I'd have to switch gears and say he and him and daddy and Josh, and it just got to be too much. It was like I was living some sort of crazy double life. So I told the people at work, hey, this is what's happening, this is what we're going through, this is my intentions, this is what you can expect. There's going to be doctor's appointments, there's going to be upcoming surgeries possibly, and I'm going to need time off, and and they have questions and you have to know the answers. So the number one thing that I want everyone to do is to make sure that you educate yourself. Read all that you can, talk to your partner all that you can, do all that you can to understand what being transgendered is, what the steps are in transitioning, whether it's male to female or female to male, and that will arm you with the knowledge that you need to educate people when they come at you with questions, because ultimately they will. Josh has had a difficult time transitioning at work. He actually lost his job last Friday, and he was fired for being trans, unfortunately. But, I can't really talk too much about it right now because there's a lot kind of going on with it, but it is what it is, so be careful. Companies are going to say, oh, we support you, it's no problem, do what you need to do, and then all of a sudden it's not okay anymore. He wasn't allowed to use the men's room. When he took a break, he had to walk across the parking lot and go to McDonald's to use the men's room. I don't know, it's just all very weird. So it's hard to transition at work. It's hard to transition, period, let alone to have to do it in front of an audience, because you do it in front of the world. Unfortunately, life doesn't stop, and you can't go behind closed doors for, a year until you can come out the real you, a whole new you. And you have to do it in the public eye, and you have to do it in front of your friends, and you have to do it in front of your family. And, it's just like when you were growing up and you went through puberty the first time, how awkward you were and how things were so weird and you were getting accustomed to things. These are, for the most part, adult people going through the same thing in front of an audience. So, excuse me, I can see how it would be very difficult. And it has been difficult for me to talk to the people at work about it because they don't understand. But I'm lucky because I don't care. I'm lucky because I don't care what other people think of me, and I never have. It doesn't really bother me, if people talk bad about it or whatever, because they don't lead my life. They don't know the love that I feel for this person. So, as far as advice goes, stand your ground. Stand up for yourself. If you're male to female, convince people that they need to be using the she and her pronouns. If you're female to male, they need to be he and him. If someone's not on board with that, you need to reiterate the fact that it doesn't make you comfortable, that you need to be addressed appropriately. Just stand up for yourself. Don't let somebody walk all over you, and don't be scared, because it's okay, and you're allowed to be independent, and you're allowed to express your wishes and your gender identity. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject. But I hope everybody has a great day, and my next video will be while we are in Florida. Josh and I are flying out on Thursday, and his surgery, top surgery's on Friday. So next Tuesday I may make a video from the beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I can see the ocean behind me or something cool. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and best wishes. And, you know, when you have to come out, I always say go full force, you know. And we have special guests. I'm going to introduce our guests. You might recognize our special guests from YouTube. This is Jalen and his girlfriend, Megan.
Hello.
And they are from Indianapolis, Indiana. And they have their own channels. And we've kind of, I don't know, I guess become friends over the internet. And we referred Jalen to our therapist. And they came in town tonight for his first therapy appointment and for their first group meeting. And there's my hottie, my handsome man. But yeah, so we have house guests this evening. That's another reason why we're up so late, because we're just kind of pretty much chatting the night away. But anyway, good to talk to everybody, and send your comments or questions, and I'm happy to address. Be well. Bye.